Track Wrestling with Bryan Snyder, the pride of Easton, Pennsylvania, assistant wrestling coach in Nebraska. Did you ever make it back to Easton?
I do, quite a bit.
Do you?
Yeah, we just got a couple recruits from the Valley, and my folks still live there, so it's a recruiting hotbed, so it's a win-win for me to get to go home, recruit, and see the fam a bit.
What's the Pennsylvania State Tournament like?
Tough. It was always the toughest tournament I ever. In high school, I won Ironman in Reno before I won a state title. I didn't get a state title until my last shot at it my senior year, and I was JV my freshman year, so I only wrestled it 3 times. But it's tough, you know. It's spread over 3 days, and you know there's just a lot of really quality competition. Back then, there was 5 regional champs. That meant that 2 regional champs met in the quarters. So the year I won it, me and the other, I think we were ranked number 1 and 2 in the state. We had to wrestle in the quarters. I had to get a takedown with 15 seconds to go, and I had to ride him out like 4 seconds to win my quarterfinal match. And I was walking back to the center going, oh my God, I gotta ride him out for 4 seconds. But as you know, it's probably put a little added pressure to it. You know, I wrestled a little bit more free when I was in the national tournaments and competed better, but I think I learned from it. But it's awesome. You know, you see AAA session lets out, and the AA folks are lined up outside the doors like waiting to get in. So it's a pretty awesome experience.
I remember when you were a freshman at Nebraska, you kind of took the wrestling world by storm, and people were like, hey, a freshman is doing so well and they shouldn't be doing it. Now it happens all the time, but when you were going through it, did you feel like there was some added buzz that this freshman's doing some great things?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. It was kind of incremental though, like week by week. You know, I started off well, and then I got beat up a little bit by Clint Musser, who was a senior. He was like 1 or 2 in the country. But then I started to knock off some guys, and I definitely had a little bit of a run going. And yeah, I felt there was a little excitement behind me and on campus, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
What's the art to getting the best out of these guys that you're coaching in Nebraska?
Just really trying to get them intrinsically motivated, really push their buttons to make sure that you know they want it for the right reasons, right? That they want to be their best version of themselves. Try to establish a really good, trusting, caring relationship with my guys that's honest and genuine. And I think they know once that bond is built, that when I come at them hard, that it's because they need a foot up their butt, and you know when I put a pat on their back, it's because they need it. And so you need that trust to be able to challenge it and push somebody. And that's my whole approach and philosophy to coaching and helping these guys reach their best is, you know, showing them the technique and all that, but sharing stories about where I failed and helping them, making sure they don't make the same mistakes that I did when I came through the ranks. Also to have fun with the sport. You know, we do this all year round, and if it's not fun, it gets old real quick. So when you saw us, you know, we had a good workout, and you know, then we play wrestled and sparred and had some fun with it. So yeah, a little bit of that.
What kind of things do you do to build a bond?
You know, I think it's just like anything. One, you got to be genuine about your care for these guys and make sure it's not just about wrestling. What's going on? How's your family doing? How's your girlfriend doing? Like, what's going on with your high school team? Just to get interested in them, you know, as a whole being, a whole person, and not just what they're doing on the mat. You know, and showing them love whether they win or lose. And you know, I care about these guys. So to me, it's not hard to establish that bond because you know they know I'm in their corner, and they know that I'm there. I just want to see them do their best. And my focus is on, you know, them control what they can control. Commit to yourself, commit to your discipline, lay it on the line, make sure your effort's in the right place, and make sure you've got the resiliency and the grit to bounce back and to be coachable and learn. So yeah, just try to come at it from those perspectives.
How fast does this sport evolve and change?
It's crazy. I think the last decade it's exponentially it's evolved. It's nuts, right? I mean, how much I would say on a lot of fronts, right? Obviously the quality of the sport. Kids are better at a younger age, unlike any other time. What you can see, what you can watch, the hype behind matches, the growth of the sport through you guys and Flo and Intermat. It's crazy. It's good. I mean, there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of buzz around wrestling, and I think it's what our sport deserves. It's the best. There's not anything like it.
When I think about you, I think about 2 championship appearances in the NCAA championship finals. You lost both of them, but we didn't have an equitable system at the time, and now we do. Do you ever scratch your head and say, why didn't they just have something that was a little bit more fair?
No, I really, truly, honestly, we joke about it. It's something that I'm at peace with. I think the rules now are better than they were, but they were what they were. Obviously they're better now. I think the better guy wins now, and I don't think there's any question marks as to whether it's a coin flip or whoever scores first. Yeah, they're better now, but they were what they were. I use those moments as teachable moments for my guys. I really invest in my guys on top position because I was hard-headed in college, and I thought I could beat everyone on the takedown on my feet, and for the most part that was true, but when I needed it, I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared for that moment. So I make sure that my guys are committed on top, and that they realize the importance of that position. So it's made me a better coach for sure.
What separates Jordan Burroughs from everyone else?
I get asked this question a lot, and for the guys that know, for the people that are close to JB and know him well, he's the toughest SOB in any room that I've ever been in, right? Whether it's competitively or whether it's just in the practice room, but he competes in everything. Whether it's sprints, whether it's rope climbs, whether it's any sort of conditioning, he's got to be on top. His standard for himself is so high. He's also the stingiest guy I've ever met in terms of, if you score on him, you've earned it, right? He doesn't give up any points. He wrestles through every position, and he's gritty as they come. It's not his speed, it's not his athleticism, it's not his strength. There's been guys that have matched him on all 3 of those levels, but they don't have what he has in terms of his ability to compete, and no matter the circumstances, but his commitment to his craft. He's as tough as they come, and he's gritty. Yeah, he don't give up anything.
Doesn't that sound like what they say about Michael Jordan?
Yeah,
it's identical, isn't it?
Yeah. So, obviously I've come along. I've been with Jordan since his senior year, so I've seen him evolve in a lot of ways, but. That's really it, man. If you get in a practice room with him and you watch him wrestle a 15-minute go or some matches, he competes. It means a lot to him. He doesn't just turn it on in the spotlight. Anytime his foot is on the line, he's scrapping like it's a world championship. So.
Would you like to be a head coach someday?
Absolutely.
Are you looking? I mean, is it something you just keep on your radar? How do you approach it?
I'm happy in Nebraska. I love what I'm doing there. I don't have any plans on going anywhere else, and we've got a good thing going on. My girlfriend and our son and her family is all there, so we're set in Nebraska.
What's the best thing about Lincoln?
Lincoln's great because it's if you want a big time college experience, you've got basketball games and football games, and but also in a lot of ways it has a good small town feel because it has a lot of Midwest folks, right? And really it's the people. They treat their student athletes better than anywhere else, I would imagine. And it's great. It's great. I fell in love with it coming from Easton and going to Lincoln, pretty different places, and I've been there now half of my life, so it's a great place to be.
Any chance we can get that curly hair back? Remember that?
What? I think the curl's kind of gone a little bit. I don't know. If I grow it out, it may come back a little bit, but don't plan on it anytime soon.
All right, Bryan Snyder, thanks for the time.
Yep, thank you.